Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're talking with Travante about his 2018 5.7 liter Ram Unlimited, going over all of his mods that he's done to the truck, taking a look at his photos, and if you want to see his mods list and more photos and customers like his, you want to check out the customer build profile pages on the website, and if you're watching on YouTube, click the link below. Speaking of YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all interviews just like this one to hopefully get you inspired about things that you can do to your own truck, along with other content, product installs, and reviews. What do you say we connect with Travante? Hey man, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Great. Travante, thank you so much for carving time out of your schedule to be here with me. I'm excited to talk about your Ram. I want to go through all the mods. So right off the bat, you have a 2018 5.7 liter Ram 1500 Unlimited. Is that correct?
Yes, it's actually the Outdoorsman model. This is my first anything outside of a Chevy.
Really, my first question is usually, with all the trucks on the road, why did you pick that one? And I'm curious what made you switch from Chevy to Ram.
I was trying to buy a house. I bought a 2017 Camaro. The mortgage company didn't like the payment on that thing. So first thing is I'm looking for a Chevy Silverado. I went and tested a few models of Chevy Silverados, and for the price range I was in, every Chevy I got in, the interior was plain. But when I got in the Ram, it's one of the best interiors I've ever seen, and that almost immediately sold me on the truck. They're beautiful inside, and that's what ultimately sold me on the truck. That's why I went from Chevy to Ram.
First thing that catches my eye is these Morimoto lights. Morimoto is just top notch, man. So I want to know how you feel about those headlights and how you settled on those.
So when I was looking at the truck, when I was about to buy it, I know I loved the interior, but I almost didn't buy it because the exterior looks so plain. And the headlights they stuck out to me. So I'm kind of going on the Ram forums, going on Facebook, checking out different headlights, and I see a lot of people say that they're going for least expensive.
It's a compromise.
It's a compromise. So I didn't want the compromise. I wanted to be different, and I know that Morimoto's popular, but I personally had rarely seen them on the road where I live. So when I'm looking at the lights and I see the price, I almost turned away from the price, but they look amazing. And you know, there was nothing but good things to say aside from others not liking the price of it. I was sold the moment I started browsing your guys' website and, you know, just looking for parts. I used to go on there just looking for parts, and I saw those. I haven't regretted that purchase since, man, and I love them. They're amazing headlights.
With that said, so you kind of matched up headlights, you got the fog lights, which looks so good. But aside from that, you have a couple of other exterior things that I want to talk about. Since we're already at the front end of the truck, let's talk about that bull bar. So you have a Barricade HD bull bar, but it's not just the bull bar. You did the modular thing to it, right? You added the skid plate, you added the light bar.
So recently bought a house out in the country. It is super dark. There's no dark like country dark. On the roads, coming home at night, I was like, standard headlights, I can't see anything. And that's another reason I switched to the Morimotos. But the bull bar with the 20-inch LED light bar on there lights up the road about, I'd say, 5 times as bright as those Morimotos will. So, I mean, I can light the whole forest up. They actually serve a purpose. I didn't want a part of my truck that wasn't functional. I didn't want a light bar just to have a light bar, just to say, hey, cool, look at the light bar. I got it for a purpose. I feel like it was essential and it works great. So I figure if I do one thing, I got to do it all. So that's why I did the headlights, the fog lights, and the bull bar. So now it all matches.
So I know you picked the light bar for a purpose. I'm curious if the bull bar was like a means to an end to get the light bar mounted, or did you want a bull bar too, or did you just buy that so you can get a light bar on the front end?
I wanted the bull bar before I saw the light bar. So the light bar was me scrolling through your website, and I was like, oh, there's an option with a light bar, because I had looked at quite a few different bull bars. So it actually worked out that it's a way to mount the light instead of just like sticking it on the grill. I didn't really want anything that looked out of place.
Barricade side steps kind of match the Barricade theme, right? You've got Barricade bull bar on the front end, kind of wrap around the side of the truck, some side steps. Did your truck come with factory side steps and you upgraded, or did you go from nothing to something?
So when I went to go buy the truck, the side steps were the first thing that I said had to go. They were flat side steps. And the reason why is because when I bought the truck, I bought it used, and it had just came in from Canada. And apparently Canada salts the roads a lot. So the side steps were rusted and they just had to go. And those side steps I chose were like, it was the look I was looking for. And they look amazing.
When you were shopping for those side steps, did you have trouble? Because I know they're like the more OEM look. There's like drop steps and more aggressive armor steps. Like, did you go back and forth at all, or did you know that was the one?
I went back and forth a little bit, but since I had already purchased side steps from you guys before for my old Chevy, I knew I didn't want that look. I felt the look that I chose for my Chevy, it looked great on my old truck. but it just wouldn't look good on this truck. And that made me narrowing down what I did want easier. It's simple.
So you have something that I'm interested in myself for my own truck. I drive a Ford Ranger. So I was looking at the bed extender, and you have exactly what I'm interested in myself, the Amp Research bed extender. And I'm curious how you like that and what exactly are you hauling? If you feel like sharing, you don't have to share, but what are you putting in your bed that you needed that, and how's that worked for you?
I don't like long bed trucks. They just do not look great to me. When I bought this truck, I was like, it's gotta be a short bed. And then I'm like, well, now the bed's too short.
Right, yeah.
But I knew before I bought it that I was gonna just buy a bed extender anyways. And it gives me that same length now that my old truck had. And like I said, looks wise, I wanted a truck that I can go outside and I can look at every day and say, this truck looks amazing. And I can't say that for a long bed truck, but that bed extender solved all of it. You know, it gives you this like trunk space. And since my next upgrade will be a tonneau cover, I'm able to cover the bed of my truck and have a trunk space that things won't be flying around the back of my truck. So the fact that it rolls right in, it works perfect for me.
It looks good on your truck too. I have a picture of it with the tailgate down and that swung out. I think it looks really cool. So you have a couple other things that I'll probably just brush over. I mean, you have a hood deflector that pretty much speaks for itself. I think it adds a look to it, but I'm assuming, you know, it helps you deflect stuff off of your hood, right? Exactly like it sounds.
I was trying to go for a mixture of sporty and rugged, and that hood deflector looked to be one of the most rugged looking hood deflectors on the truck. And when I first bought the truck, there was a few scratches right there on the front of the hood where that hood deflector would have prevented that.
So I'm assuming the same explanation would go for the window deflectors, right? It's kind of one and the same, almost. Nice little rugged look. Crack the windows in the rain, you don't have to worry about getting wet, stuff like that. Finally, Pedal Commander Bluetooth throttle controller. There's a lot of throttle controllers out there. I'm curious what your experience is with that.
I love it, and I love it so much that I wasn't expecting what it would actually do to the truck. The truck had a lot of lag, and I looked online, and a lot of people said that it's very common in Rams to have this lag. When you get on the throttle, it takes a second to pick up, but when they put the Pedal Commander in, the lag is completely gone. I mean, 100% gone, almost too gone. When I first installed it, I was back out of my driveway. So like, I just wasn't thinking when I put it in that it would work both ways. I was on Sport Plus. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna put this thing to Sport Plus, and it shot back. So I was like, okay, let me turn it down. You know, and then I put it on Sport Plus and then Plus 2. And then when I got on the gas for the first time, it felt like that Camaro I had, no lie. It's not like you're getting more power, it's just that throttle response. It makes you feel like you're in just a beast of a vehicle with that Pedal Commander.
So you have wheels and tires on there, the Moto Metal gloss black. And it kind of goes hand in hand with throttle controllers too, because adding bigger wheels and tires typically slows the truck down. How did you, first off, land on those? And what do you think about the offset?
It kind of goes around to a lot of what I'd done in the truck. I needed a little more poke. You know, my wheels kind of stuck in too much, especially with the factory deflectors. I didn't know too much about wheel offset. I kind of don't mess with a lot of wheels too much. So I had to go do my research on what offset meant and figure out how much poke I want, how much I want to stick out. And I wanted the tires to come out just a hair past fenders. When I'm choosing the wheels, I almost selected the wrong wheels quite a few times because I was reading the dimensions, but not the offset. When I finally, you know, watched a few YouTube videos, landed on those and figured they'd look great on the truck with just the right amount of offset. I mean, they look amazing. With the wheels on there, it really changed the whole look of the truck. The offset is perfect, especially having the truck leveled. I don't see a difference with, now that I got the Pedal Commander. When I take the Pedal Commander off, I can definitely tell the difference between my truck, you know, factory, not leveled, smaller tires. And then I put the Pedal Commander on with the level and the bigger tires. I just kept the same rim size, but I feel like, once again, those had a great reputation behind them, lots of great reviews. The price was definitely there. They were not expensive wheels. So it worked out perfectly. They look great on my truck, in my opinion. I love the wheels. I love the offset of them.
I like it too. Looking at the picture, it's just the perfect amount of poke, perfect amount of aggression without being too overbearingly wide body. Finally, last question. We got the mods out of the way. What are your future plans? Let me hear it. You got any inspiration for later on down the road? Talk to me.
A couple small changes that won't cost a lot. I'm just busy all the time, so I haven't got to them, is a tailgate assist. And the other thing was a tonneau cover. I really like the retractable ones. Looking on your guys' website. Other than that, mods wise, maybe an exhaust, you know, beef up that growl a little bit, you know, open that Hemi up. Other than that, nothing. I've got everything done in the truck I wanted to do to it.
That's awesome. You almost never hear that. It's nice to know that you've kind of done everything that you want to do. You got a couple of small things. Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to be here with me, talk about your truck. It's a beautiful truck. I wish you the best of luck with the new house, with the future mods and everything.
Awesome, man. Definitely, man. Appreciate it.
That's gonna wrap this one up, guys. We just spoke with Travante about his 2018 5.7 liter Ram Unlimited, went over his mods list, took a look at his photos, and if you wanna see more of his and other customers like his, you wanna check out the customer build profile pages on the website. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, click the link below. With that said, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content, product reviews, and full installs. Keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.